So today we're doing summary completion question type. You're going to listen to an audio. In the audio, the speaker would speak broadly on an issue. But your question would have a summary of everything that the speaker is talking about. The major points will be there, the key points will be there. It's basically a summary of what the speaker is talking about. And inside that summary, you will have blank spaces. So you need to listen to the audio carefully in order to fill those blank spaces. Now, when you successfully fill those blank spaces, you can then read it and get a clear knowledge of what the speaker said. Do you understand me? So for summary completion question type, we have certain strategies that we use to get our answers easily. Now, before the recording starts, the first strategy, and this applies to everything, read the instruction carefully and note the word limit. Up here is the instruction: no more than 3 words and or a number. So whatever answer you're putting here should not be more than 3 words and or a number. So the second step is read the summary and understand its meaning. Now let's go to the summary. So from what you see here, what can you pick out of it? Don't be in a haste, take your time, just go through it. What can you pick out of this?
It's like a letter. Maybe a speech.
Okay.
I don't know. But for me, it's like a letter or an email. Once you see dear Joe or dear whatever.
Yes, it's a letter. That is the beautiful part of it. I'm happy that you are able to pick that out of it. It's a letter. Come on. Or maybe an email, but they all fall into one category. Someone is writing to another person. So there's one technical thing about summary completion. This summary is a letter someone is writing to another person. But when you start listening to the audio can present itself direct and simple. Why the audio can present itself in another form. For instance, we go on a tour to an amusement park. When we come back from the amusement park, you now decide to write to your friend about our experience in the amusement park. Now, what you're going to hear in the audio is our journey in the amusement park. What we saw, everything, that's what you will be hearing in the audio. But from what you are hearing in the audio, you are completing this your letter. Do you understand my point?
Yes.
Because you are writing about what happened in the amusement park. So in this case, if you do not read this your letter very well and understand it, it will be hard for you to complete the summary, even though you are hearing the answer. So the time before the recording starts playing, that is the time you have to read this summary. Step 3, think about possible paraphrases. This will improve your alertness for the answer. This would help you because many times all these things you're seeing here will not come word for word exactly as you have it here. I know you have experienced that before, right?
Yes.
In listening question, so that's nothing strange. So let's go on to the next step. Look at the gaps and predict possible answers. Now let's see. Now, why are you predicting possible answer? It will help you understand and synchronize the summary itself. So let's try and predict answer. You missed the welcome meeting. We were created by the principle of Dunleavy. So here we're expecting, if it's a Dunleavy society, the nature of Dunleavy as an organization, we will see it there. Who explain how the university has dash campuses? So we know maybe it's the number of campuses they want to be there, or the size of the campus, maybe the biggest campuses, or whatever. You are drawing closer to the answer, even though you've not listened to the audio. Are you getting the point? That's the idea behind it. So we try to predict possible answers. Let's move on to the next. When you've done all this, you listen actively to the recording.
Listening section 2. You will hear the principal of a university welcoming his students. Look at questions 11 to 17. Listen to the first part of the lecture and answer questions 11 to 17.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Donovan, the principal of Don Levy University, and I would like to welcome you to the Dinglewood campus.
What's the answer to number 11?
University.
Okay.
Which is one of the 3 campuses belonging to this university.
What's the answer to number 12?
I missed that though.
What will happen is, write down your answer. I would ask you after a certain level of time, because I think this person and person also have it way of affecting your attention span.
Okay, let's try it like that.
Which is one of the 3 campuses belonging to this university. This campus, Dinglewood, is where I have my office.
So what's the answer to number 12?
3.
So what's the answer to number 13?
Office.
And it's also the location of the Languages and Science campus. So some of you will be studying here. Dinglewood is the most northerly campus. The business studies blocks are in the Churchdown campus in the centre of town. And the southern or Trailway campus, where history and architecture are situated, is to the south of the town. Those of you who are enrolled in any of those courses will be taken to your respective buildings at the end of this meeting. Those of you studying on the Dinglewood campus, you will have a tour later too. This building we are assembled in is the office or administration block, Block 39, and is where the weekly meetings are held. You are welcome to attend these meetings, as are all the university staff. You may want to, as many university issues are discussed at these weekly meetings. The meetings take place at 1:30 every Tuesday, so please stop by. 2 other important buildings are also located on this campus, the cafeteria and the on-site shop. You can purchase all the required books and any stationery you need for your courses at this shop. Please bear in mind that even though you have shown your ID passes to enter the site, you still need to use them again to buy anything in the shop or cafeteria. This is for security reasons.
So what's your answer to number 14?
Wallahi, I didn't hear anything. Because I don't know what happened though. But number 14, I wrote ID passes. But I think the answers came before. See, no. The answers came before. Even the whatever they are selling at the cafeteria, I think it came before the ID passes, the number 14.
You're correct. What happened is that the answer to number 15 came before that of number 14.
Because I'm like, I don't understand.
It's good you go through all this. These are mental exercises. They're building mental energy, awaiting the trick, whatever trick that they will play on you. Okay, so number 14, what did you write?
ID passes.
Number 15, what did you write?
I didn't write anything, no.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Number 16, what did you write?
I said the remaining 3, I don't get anything. Honestly, this one, let it not be this type of exam. But I will see, because I will run
That's it. Let me tell you one thing. Don't let fear step in here. But this is the first time I was speaking English on this class.
Like, I was already shocked. And I got it, like, I just forgot everything I was listening to, because I'm like, what is happening?
I got the audio before number 17. Yeah, so you just have 15 and 16 in the audio.
So please, can I listen again? Let me know if I would get this.
And it's also the location of the Languages and Science campus. So some of you will be studying here. Dinglewood is the most northerly campus. The business studies blocks are in the Churchdown campus in the centre of town, and the southern or Trailway campus, where history and architecture are situated, is to the south of the town. Those of you who are enrolled in any of those courses will be taken to your respective buildings at the end of this meeting. Those of you studying on the Dinglewood campus, you will have a tour later too. This building we are assembled in is the office or administration block, Block 39, and is where the weekly meetings are held. You are welcome to attend these meetings, as are all the university staff. You may want to, as many university issues are discussed at these weekly meetings. The meetings take place at 1:30 every Tuesday, so please stop by. Two other important buildings are also located on this campus, the cafeteria and the on-site shop. You can purchase all the required books and any stationery you need for your courses at this shop. Please bear in mind that even though you have shown your ID passes to enter the site, you still need to use them again to buy anything in the shop or cafeteria. This is for security reasons.
So what's your answer for number 14, 15 and 16?
Books and stationery. I don't know, because stationery is the same as where they sell books.
So it's not about being correct, it's about what you had.
Okay, Bob, I heard books and stationery.
Now the books you had, is it plural or singular?
Plural.
Okay, that's correct. And number 16, what's your answer?
ID pass.
Now for number 16, the answer is ID passes. I feel at some point you started getting agitated, like at certain point you begin to miss the answer. Am I right or wrong?
All right, though. I'm like, what was all this long talk? And again, I was looking at the end. If you didn't tell me you paused it, because I'm like, this thing is already ending and nothing. So maybe I've already missed it. So that was what.
Make it a habit. Try to be 2 sentences ahead. So if you miss the first one, you don't miss the second one. It's like you have number 14 in mind, what you need to carry to get into the campus, and the other thing, what the shop sells.
The pressures in a massive body like the Sun are vast, and this is what brings the hydrogen atoms into such close proximity to one another that they fuse into helium. We may not have to achieve the same pressures in a fusion reactor, but even so, it is a huge technological problem. What, then, makes me hopeful about the future of energy from nuclear fusion? Perhaps surprisingly, it is developments in laser technology. We can now use lasers to control the nuclear fuel pellets so that they remain suspended inside the reactor without touching the sides. Remember that these pellets are quite small, and because they contain atoms of deuterium and tritium, the two isotopic forms of hydrogen that can be used in these reactions, they are quite light. The lasers will also compress the fuel pellet to raise the pressure to that required to initiate the fusion reaction. Another, far more powerful laser will be used to heat the fuel pellet to the temperature required. This laser, if you like, will act as the trigger to start the reaction. Once started, it is hoped that the reaction will produce enough energy to maintain itself, and also that it will produce a surplus in the form of heat that can be used to produce the steam needed to drive turbines in order to generate the electricity the world needs. To give you some idea of how much energy we can produce, it has been calculated that just 1 kilogram of fusion fuel is capable of producing the same amount of energy as 10,000 tons of fossil fuel. I think you would agree that such an objective is worth working towards. I believe, and I am not alone in this, that nuclear fusion could supply the world's energy needs for centuries to come.
That is the end of section 4.